Good evening, friends. Thank you for joining me every evening to follow what's happening in India and abroad. Today, we have with us a guest you always look forward to, Savio Rodriguez. Welcome to our show, Savio.
Namaste, Meena ma'am. Pleasure to be on your
Yeah,
show again.
thank you. Viewers, as usual, towards the end of the session, you can ask him questions regarding the topics that we are discussing tonight. Savio, we'll start off with the 4 points, the latest news about SSR. Okay.
Sure,
Coup and the death of an actor who was very close to Sushant. And finally,
sure,
Soros.
sure.
In the SSR case, there seems to be a further delay after the verdict of the Bombay High Court, which quashed the FIR against SSR sister Neetu Singh by RIA. But there was no relief for Priyanka Singh. As you recall, Sushant Singh Rajput's sisters had filed a petition in the Bombay High
Correct,
Court seeking that the FIR filed against them by Bandra police on the basis of Riya Chakravarti's complaint be quashed. The division
correct,
bench of Justice S.S. Shinde and Justice M.S. Karnik pronounced orders on the petition filed by the SSR sisters Priyanka and Meetu, who were seeking quashing of an FIR registered against them by Riya. There is
correct.
prima facie case found against Priyanka Singh, and there should not be any impediment against investigation against her, the court said in its verdict. Savio, so a lot of our viewers were extremely disappointed when they heard this. Perhaps you could, just explain to them what is happening in this context.
Well, I think the court within its own jurisdiction has decided to allow for the case to proceed as far as Priyanka is concerned. I think they believe that there are certain factors and certain evidences that are actually working against her. So
Yeah.
I can't officially and very openly state anything because then that would be in contradiction to what they have decided on. And in all
Yes.
respect to the court,
Yes.
I think I want to be able to state that I eventually believe that the truth will prevail in all cases in the
Yes.
investigation as far as the death of Sushant and Disha Salian is concerned,
Yes.
in the allegations levied on his sister Priyanka. Uh, but I think this is the ordeal that we have to go through as a part of the justice system that we have. So while I respect what the court has said, I may not
Yeah.
necessarily have to agree with it, though I
Yes.
respect it.
Yeah.
Right? Uh, and that's really what I would like to say. But I would like to tell the people who are following up with the SSR case is that there's been considerable headway as far as the focus on the drugs has been concerned. NCB has been doing a fabulous job. It's doing a very quiet job, and I think sometimes the silence might really be the damaging aspect of any investigation. If there were more noise being made about it, then maybe there will be a lot of action and a lot of reactions to what is happening. So I think the silence aspect of it is good. There's no more speculation that's going on in the news market, as you would call it, or in the public space. So everybody is clueless as to what is happening. But all I can say is that if you go by just one agency that's been really being very active, which is NCB, and the pattern in which they have been going about isolating the entire nexus of the drugs as far as Bollywood is concerned, you would have to admit that there is a planned move to eradicate as much as they can, but they want to do it systematically. So it's on the basis of that I'm saying that even the CBI is doing
Yeah.
what it's doing. Maybe it's not making noise.
Yeah.
I would like for them to have come out and said something to the people who are looking for justice,
Yeah.
but
Mhm.
maybe they're looking for the right opportune time. So if the
Yeah.
NCB is doing a good job in one direction, I would like to believe that the CBI is also doing a fantastic job because the ED has gone very aggressive on so many other defaulters and so many other areas.
Yeah.
So I think the central agencies are working with a mandate, and especially on the SSR case and drug mess, I think it's got its focus very clear. So I don't want to reveal too much, I don't want to say too much, and I don't want to judge them until we reach a conclusive point of their failure or success in the investigation.
Yeah. Savio, see, one of the reasons why people are getting impatient is because, see, there are other cases that are coming out which are very similar, in pattern. For example, in a
Yes,
very shocking incident, Bollywood actor Sandeep Nahar, who had acted with
Yes.
Sushant Singh in MS Dhoni and Untold Story, died after leaving a note on Facebook. Can you imagine? On Facebook, leaving a suicide note on a Facebook. In his long FB post, he accused his wife of 2 years, Kanchan, and his mother in law of relentlessly harassing and blackmailing him. The actor, who was also seen in Alt Balaji's Kehne Ko Humsafar Hai, said that he and his wife were in an unhealthy relationship which was riddled with constant fights and arguments. The actor wrote that he had thought of suicide as a solution before this too, but decided to give things some time in hope of a change in his marital life. Now I'll have to take this step happily as this life has only shown me hell. Now, Savio, this is one side, okay? The second side, Suchitra Pillai, an actor who's worked with him, said that Sandeep Nahar was shaken by Sushant Singh Rajput's death. And his death by suicide has left the industry stunned. It's quite hard for his co-stars to believe that the actor had so much pain in his life that led him to take this drastic step. Bombay Times had spoken to Suchitra Pillai, and what she said was that it's just unreal. Sandeep and I worked together for 3 years on the show. He was one of the most gregarious people on the set. He used to make us laugh, and also by cracking silly jokes. He was such a jovial person. This entire episode makes us realize about the pain behind those happy faces. Now, Savio, a man who does not discuss all his personal matters with his colleagues or friends, suddenly writes a suicide note, that too on Facebook, and says he can no longer tolerate the treatment that he is getting from his wife and mother-in-law. It seems strange. And of course, like the Sushant case, we don't know if they had images of him hanging or whether he was brought down by his wife or mother-in-law or whoever when the police arrived. Could you tell us how you see this case? Apparently, this actor was also close to Sushant and worried for him. So again, here's another case where we don't know if there were actual images of him hanging.
Well, Meena ma'am, over the last 1 year, if you look at the Bollywood industry and more in particular artists that come into what would be your soap opera primetime programs,
Yes.
a considerable amount of them have reportedly been found dead due to suicide. If I believe there is a considerable number to that, I don't have the exact number with me, but I do remember a certain amount of data that I'd come across, which spoke about most of them being within what you would call the soap opera segment of the Bollywood industry, if there's a better word to describe that. So what what could be happening? There are two reasons to look at it. One, there's just generally some sort of racket that could be going on that is leading to unnatural deaths and suicide of these young artists in that industry. Or there could be genuinely a problem in some cases where the pressure levels are so high that they could be resorting to an escape from that mental and physical pain that they're going through the process of a suicide, which is the last attempt that they might have. Either way, when you look at it, there is something that is not right happening in that industry. And which is why it is important for people within the authorities or within the social services mechanisms to try and reach out to people that are actually going through these kind of troubles and pains and traumas or harassment to the maximum, or who are being victimized. I have said this before and I say it again. I do not believe that Sushant Singh Rajput committed suicide. There were many circumstantial evidences that allow me to think that he did not.
Yeah.
Certain actions by the Mumbai police, as far as investigations that they were doing, raised questions as to why were they in so much of a hurry to term it as a suicide. But even then, I'm still saying that there does exist a problem of harassment. There must be many cases of psychological distress as far as Bollywood or the soap opera industry is concerned. And this is something that we need to address because eventually they're young talent, they're young stars. And to be a part of that glamorous world requires a certain amount of mindset and a certain amount of letting go of yourself. And sometimes that letting go is so far away that you can't come back. There are so many cases that we would have read about on media about, stars that did extremely well and then they got lost, they got into drug addiction, they got into sex addiction, and eventually it goes bad. So it is that kind of an industry.
Yeah.
So if somebody takes a drastic step, we need to understand why they're taking that drastic step. Please understand the survival happening in the industry as far as Bollywood is concerned are only kids of nepotism. There's really not much talent
Yeah.
that is actually surviving Bollywood. And if they have talent, they've taken a long time to build on that. There are few gems that have been there, but they've all come into a sort of a cuckoo. So I think we need to look at it seriously as Bollywood as an industry, or the work of film stars and TV stars that happen. What is their life all about? It's not all a bed of roses. I'm pretty sure of that.
Yeah, yeah. Also, Savio, see, why there's so much doubt is, see, you remember that guy also who his name was Basra. He also died
Yeah.
in Uttarakhand. And see, all these people, if you look at their, what their co-stars talk about them, is that they're all very bright, intelligent. They crack jokes. They're jovial on the sets. Right. What you said is right, that they may have some inner problems. But if these people are so intelligent, see, suicide is the play of only a coward. Okay. If these people are, they have so many qualities and they're doing so well in the industry, that means that they have an inner strength. Okay. And what is happening is we are made to believe only what is seen by the Mumbai police. We are not seeing it ourselves. Okay. And the press is not reporting it. Who's reporting it? It will only be someone like Arnab, okay, or someone like you, okay, or Op India. Yeah. Few right-wing media, even I might expose it. But what is happening is the bulk of the media is not talking about it, nor showing any pictures or anything.
But man, you see, I'll tell you why. Why it's so difficult for people to understand?
Yeah.
Because there's a very fine line beyond what is actually what you term to be suicide, and I would disagree with you, ma'am, with all due respect.
Yes.
I don't think suicide is an act of cowardice in actual mental health terminology, but suicide is an act of an actual last minute cry out, hoping that somebody would hear, and I can tell you from an experience that I heard about but was never a part of. It was a young girl known to somebody very close to me. She had somehow got into a love affair that didn't work out, and in a matter of desperation, at one point of time, she consumed poison.
Yeah.
And then she started crying out to her parents.
Yeah.
And she was begging to live.
Yeah.
But there was very little that the parents could do because she had already consumed so much of it and it already had an impact, right?
Yeah.
And then that last minute, imagine that child who's 18, 19-year-old crying to her mother and father, telling her, please save me. And what is the trauma that parent is going through, knowing that they really can't do anything to save her?
Yeah.
So I think we need to understand that bit of it. But as far as Bollywood is concerned, let's even look at both aspects. Maybe some are suicides, maybe some are deliberate deaths.
Yes.
The fact of the matter is that there is something sinister happening over there that is allowing for them to die in such large numbers, especially in the last 1 year, if you actually analyze it. So that itself is the beginning point. Maybe there is a mental health issue in there, or maybe there is something more than a mental health issue. Maybe they are victims of sexual exploitation. Maybe they are victims of some form of exploitation that is forcing them to end their lives. That's where I think we need to be far more focused in trying to find out what the real problem is.
Yeah. For example, see, if you see Sushant Singh's case, okay, Sushant Singh has been undergoing so much of turmoil under Riya Chakravarti and her family. Whole family, they were out exploiting him, keeping him away from his family. All these things happened, okay? There were many points in his life when he wanted to get away from it. And there were times when he cried out loud saying that, see, I need to get out of this place, okay? In the same way, this man who died recently, this actor, he also, see, he is not so stupid as to put a statement on Facebook and say that it's because of two women doing whatever tantrums that he's committing suicide. So again, see, these people, in my point of view, Savio, is that, see, they are very strong people who are not being, they don't fit into the rut that Bollywood is. You see, and then
True.
the moment if it don't fit into the rut, and if they don't pay the extortion money, they don't play the game the way all these other actors are doing, then it's time to eliminate them. And you can eliminate them in any way because everything else is conducive in such a way that they all work towards covering it up.
Which is what I'm saying. I'm
Yeah,
saying it can be either of the two.
yeah,
However, what is important and what is bang on as far as both you and I are saying is that
yeah.
there is something sinister going on.
Yes,
Whether
exactly.
whether the act is done individually by themselves or
Yeah,
it is done by a certain set of people and made to look like
exactly.
it's suicide.
Yeah, right.
Either way, they just have to be investigated for the truth that it is. Now,
Yeah,
will somebody in the government authority take that responsibility to look into it?
yeah,
That's really the moot question.
yeah. For example, Savio, in the case of Janvi, okay. Now, Janvi's the Mumbai police have already brought out her two friends as the accused, okay, alleged people who have killed her.
Correct.
Now, we don't have any proof of whether they killed or they say that they, fainted. Now, this boy, one of the boys, the friend, is in jail. Now, he wants to do his exams. Now,
Okay.
he's appealed for a bail. And the mother of the girl who was killed says no bail for him. Okay. Now, how the mother is sure that these two people killed her daughter has no clarity. Okay, so whatever she is getting is only the viewpoint of the Mumbai police. Now,
True.
even the CCTV footage that has been seen is only seen by the police, and maybe
True.
perhaps the lawyers as well. Okay, so
True.
here again, you see, there is so much of intrigue in this, and the kind of wounds that have happened to of all three is not something that is humanly possible. I mean, a small girl like Janvi, she would be around 5'1" or something, and very delicate. Okay, she was supposed to have hit this guy, and he's got a huge wound in his back. His spine has got some problems. So a lot of problems are there. And the other girl also, she got pushed and her lip was drawn, and there was a lot of blood. So what I'm trying to say, Savio, here is that there are too many things that are happening and we are only getting one version of it, and that makes the
True.
public so upset because there is no transparency to what is happening. And see, ultimately you and I will think, what happens if it is our daughter or our son?
True.
you
True.
know and
I
they
agree.
just yeah, this girl didn't go to the party on her own, she was forced to go. An
Agree.
introvert like her, who gets about plus 90 in her score and planning to go to Australia, a bright girl who's been counseling everybody, you would say that she's a very kind soul, and she went because her friends forced her. So something like this happened means it was all pre-planned, and these
Correct.
three children became the victims of it. You see,
True.
so there's so much more to it, and I mean, just journalists like you and me can put together a lot of things together. Even the public are asking. So what's happening is, why we are all getting agitated with that. The SSR case is getting delayed is also the fact that, see, many other things are happening. And some people
Agree.
are saying, is it to cover up the SSR case that other things are happening? Questions are
Mm,
also coming. You
True.
know,
True.
to cover up, because
I agree.
suddenly you find that these the certain policemen are being made into saviors.
Well, because at one point of time you're dealing with a very powerful industry, man,
Yeah,
which is the Bollywood industry, which is the TV actor, soap opera industry. They're very powerful
yeah,
people who are linked in Bollywood as well.
yeah,
They will do everything in their power to ensure that their name doesn't get dragged into the muck, and they have done it almost successfully as far as Sushant Singh was concerned. But it's just that the voice of the people was loud enough and was really loud for a consistent period of time and continues to be loud. They're really not having much of an impact. But they have tried everything as far as they could to ensure that it drowns the voice. So you must not at any point of time think that the enemy is weak. The enemy is an extremely powerful enemy,
yeah,
right? So we have to go about doing this in a very calculative, very hardcore evidence based mechanism. So
yeah,
when journalists like you, me, Arnab, Op India team, and many
Yeah.
others that are a part of what we do,
Yeah.
if they start getting out and getting the real investigation, and the investigation of one aspect of it, you put it out. The second aspect is working on the law, the legal system that allows for these people to be penalized for what has happened. Because eventually, you and I cannot at any point of time
Mm.
pass judgment on them, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
They have to go through the process of law. So that again comes to the police. That again comes to the legal system, the
Yeah.
judiciary system that's there. I mean, look at the case of Arnab itself, and look at the
Yes.
case of Nikita Jacob.
Yeah.
Okay, or look at Anuj's case. You know, there were people on a debate that I was on making a case that Disha Ravi did not have a lawyer, and
Yeah.
she didn't get proper legal assistance.
Yeah.
Did Anuj get legal assistance for 48 hours when he was taken by the cops for only asking this bungalow belonged to whom?
Yeah.
Did anybody raise their voice then? No.
Mm.
Did anybody raise their voices on the persistent harassment that happened to the Republic TV crew? No.
Yeah.
So if you can admit that police investigations are acceptable in the case of the Mumbai police, then they should be acceptable in the cases of the Delhi police as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you had people making excuses saying that, oh, how did they pick her up from Bangalore and bring her to Delhi? I mean, I
Yeah.
don't understand what sort of a question that is if she's a part of an investigation.
Yeah.
Whether she was in Bangalore, whether she was in Timbuktu, they had to bring her
Yeah.
for that investigation. No?
Exactly. Exactly.
Right? So when it comes to attacking nationalists,
Mm.
then it's all right for the police system to do everything in their power, like reach out at somebody's house at 6 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah.
to arrest him in front of his family, move him from
Absolutely.
one jail to another,
Yeah.
putting black cloth around the van so that he's not
Person's
able to
heads.
be
Yeah.
seen, right?
Mm.
So we've seen that.
Mm.
So I believe it's essential. See, eventually it's going to boil down to the truth, and eventually it's going to boil down to the reformation of the police, because I
Yeah.
think each police in each state does whatever it's told to as far as the political
Yeah.
powers in that state are all about,
Yeah.
right?
Mm.
So I think we just have to persist and
Yeah.
believe that the truth will eventually come out. That's really what I
Yeah.
think it is.
Okay. Neera is asking, ma'am, can you ask about Arnab's harassment in Mumbai? And is he safe and the whole Republic family?
Well, the cases on Arnab will continue because they can only be solved by the court. Arnab and I speak pretty often
Yeah.
on various issues. I can tell you without a doubt that Arnab is as energetic as he used to be, and he continues to be that. Arnab believes a lot in the courts, and he believes that eventually this success to him and to the rest of the people of India will come through the court. It cannot come through any other process. So he's very optimistic as far as the court is concerned, and I believe that's the right route to take. As far as the attacks by the enemies on him are concerned, he
Yeah.
understands the fact that he has taken a path which is going to be filled with such kind of thorns along the way, and he's accepted that path. So he believes that he will walk the path because that's the only path he knows to walk, and that's the only path he wants to walk. So I would tell people who are listening to this that Arnab is as strong,
Yeah.
as committed, and as determined as he was from day one. And I think it's very inspiring, because I know Arnab well enough to know that the pressures that are mounting on him, and it could break anybody, but I think he's driven by a mission. He's a son of an army personnel. He has that in his blood to be committed to India.
Yeah. Abhay is asking, please ask why SSR family lawyer is not filing status report in Bombay High Court.
Abhay, I don't have an answer to that because I do not interact with the SSR family directly. But I will try and find an answer to that at this stage. But right now, I don't have an answer to that.
Yeah. Another thing is also, Savio, see, in the a few days before, see, we were discussing the Sri Devi murder case.
Okay.
And there's a lady who's very boldly, her name is Deepthi Pinnati, who's boldly following the case since the past 2 years. And she's the kind of woman who's doing it in a very steadfast manner. Now, whether she has all the stuff to support her or not, that is her, her lookout, okay? Now, since the case is not a normal death, channels are giving her space to speak out. Okay. Now, those who do not agree with her can always come and say that she has some fake documents and she's not the proper person to take this case or whatever. Now, when we took her on our platform, there were certain lawyers and certain BJP people who said that, see, whatever she has is fake. How dare you all bring her to your platform? That shows the integrity of your channel. Now, I had told them that, see, if you want it, you can always come on my channel with her, and challenge her about this. They never came. Then what happened, Savio? You won't believe it. Like trolls, they continuously hit me on on Twitter. I told them, see, Twitter is not a platform for you to fight. You want to go to court, take it to court and fight her there. Okay? You don't need to, question my integrity or my, see. It did not happen only to me. It happened to other people as well. So there was this whole sort of gang, saying that, see, Sridevi's thing, you should not sing because this lady is all fake. Now, see, I said, put all this aside. Can you lawyers tell me that was Sridevi's death an accident or a murder? No one will answer that. Okay. So what is the pressure here? The pressure here is that, see, we don't want to know anything about it, is the message that you're getting from all these people. So there again, Savio, there's another intrigue over there. See, and we know who are the people behind it, because again, it comes back to the same group.
Well, ma'am, to be honest with you, I did get some sort of notes from this young lady, Dipti.
Yeah.
I've really not had time to look at it, to be honest, because I won't say it's not a case that's important to me. That's not what I'm going to say. It's just that sometimes you can't handle every case that's around.
Yes.
Because I don't have the resources to look into that.
Yeah.
Because the truth on the Sridevi case can only come out from Dubai. It cannot come out from any part in India. So you need to have extreme resources and you have to spend a considerable amount of time understanding what actually took place and what are the intricacies of what led to the death. Of course, there are certain questions that have been left unanswered as far as the Sridevi case is concerned, and which is why it leaves a question mark. And whenever there is a question mark, then you start thinking to the probabilities of what could have been the actual reason of the suicide that you claim, or what could be termed as death, because when you have a question mark, right? But I'm not in a position to answer that because I haven't actually investigated it thoroughly, right? But at some point of time during the course of this year, and if I get time to get back into Middle East and spend some time there, then maybe I will start looking at the angles that would be up over there. But I don't have a comment on either Dipti's documents at this point of time because I've not verified them, number one. Number two, I don't have comments on the individuals who are attacking or who are siding her. I mean, everybody has the right to do what they have to. I can tell you it from my perspective. And in my perspective, yes, there are certain elements that have questions as far as Sridevi's death is concerned. It would have taken a very powerful lobby if it was not suicide to cover it up. That much I can tell you. It was not an easy thing because Dubai is not an easy place to cover up such a death. Because Dubai has its own nuances as far as the laws are concerned over there. You and I both know it. And you could have to be really powerful to be able to cover that up. So if there is any truth, that truth lies only in Dubai, and that will come out only from Dubai. It cannot come out from anybody sitting in India, and India will not be able to do much about as far as the investigations are concerned. There is no authority that I know in India, unless they take very strong cognizance of the information that's available to pursue it, to force the government in Dubai to actually reveal if there is any truth in it. But certainly not, no government, no authority in India can do that unless RAW gets into it.
Yeah, right. Okay. Moving on to Koo. Meanwhile, Twitter rival Koo surpasses 40 lakh users in a jiffy. Homegrown Twitter-like platform Koo has garnered over 10 lakh new users in just 1 week, surpassing the 40 lakh figure in nearly 10 months of its arrival, as Twitter was caught in crosshairs with the Indian government over its direction to remove nearly 1,400 controversial accounts. Coup is a favorite among several union ministers, including IT Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad, who is at the forefront of the government's war with Twitter and has reached 4.2 million users within no time. According to the data analytics platform Statista, as of January 2021, the microblogging platform Twitter had an audience reach of 69.3 million users in the US. Japan and India were ranked second and third with 50.9 and 17.5 million users, respectively. The fast growing vernacular platform Coup describes itself as a personal updates and opinion sharing microblogging service. The app won the Atmanirbhar App Innovation Challenge held in August last year, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi encouraged Indians to use this Coup app in his Man Ki Baat speech too. However, Coup also found itself in the midst of several controversies, including a data leak, row, and Chinese investment. Coup co-founder and CEO Apramaya Radhakrishnan denied that there was any data leak. Coup is an Indian registered company with Indian founders raised earlier capital 2.5 years ago. Latest funds for Bombinite Technologies is led by a truly Indian investor, 314 Capital, Shunwai. It's a single digital shareholder which had invested in our vocal journey will be exiting fully, Radhakrishnan said in an earlier investment. Coup has raised 4.1 million as part of its Series A funding. Infosys veteran Mohandas Pai's 314 Capital is the latest addition to the investors on board, according to the company, and Axel Partners, Kalari Capital, Bloom Ventures, and Dream Incubator also participated in the round. Savio, how do you find Coup and also Tutor? Tell me about that.
Um, well, I'll tell you what I believe in first,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
why I think it's very important for every Indian to support
yeah,
uh, all,
yeah.
if not one,
Mm.
social media platforms or tech-based platforms done by Indian companies. Now, I quite like Coup. I joined it, and I think it has some glitches in it, which are glitches that you would find in anything new. And over a period of time, I think they would be successfully dealt with. Like I was telling somebody on social media some time back when they were being very critical of Coup, I said you didn't expect YouTube, Twitter and Facebook and YouTube to be excellent from the time they first came out in mainstream market. They had their glitches as well. Google, Twitter, Facebook, even now continues to have glitches in their programming, in their data. But I'll tell you what the real problem meanwhile is, and this is what people are not understanding. Social media is what is really the world of today.
Yeah.
Whether it's WhatsApp, whether it's Twitter, whether it's Facebook, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Instagram, that's the world today.
Hmm.
It's the world of the artificial intelligence. It's the world of data,
Yeah,
right? Today, it's not so much the money that they make that really is the game. The money is data.
yeah,
And that data is your personal data,
yeah,
your friends, your families, your kids, your
yeah,
detailed information that is there, your phone numbers. Okay. I'll give you an example. For the last 2, 3 months, if you
yeah.
put up Savio Rodriguez's name on Google and you look at the search strings that are happening, you will see that they're searching for my wife and families extensively. Okay, so there are a lot of people who use this to track you, your families, what you're doing. There's a lot of searches that happen on the photographs of my wife, my family, how to reach them, all those kind of things. Okay, that's data available.
Yeah.
That data is in a foreign hand,
Mm.
and we don't have control over that data.
No, so
That data,
what you say, Savio, it is in a negative way.
I see mainstream social media, in particular as far as data is concerned, it's in the hands of foreign countries,
Yeah, yeah.
foreign
No, but
companies that are.
when you say people Google the your family or your wife, that's in a
It's in the
negative sense.
negative.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
of
yeah,
course.
yeah,
They're tracking us, is what I'm saying.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. So it's very important for us to have data staying in India itself without it having a foreign
Well,
influence,
yeah, yeah,
right? so that data can be monitored, that
Yeah.
data can be answered to. Today, when Twitter did what it did and finally took out the hashtag that was genocide related to Modi, it finally took after the government went strict on them. They were pretty
Yeah.
cocky at the start, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
Twitter is a world of its own. Facebook is a world of its own, and we've got our data there.
Yeah.
It's a social dilemma, as that a documentary said. They have
Yeah.
all our data. They are influencing us. I mean,
Yeah.
today we are happy that Amazon is coming into India and setting up a workstation over there, but we don't want to create an Amazon of our own. We had a Flipkart, but Flipkart
Yeah.
sold out to
Yeah.
Walmart.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
So we're not creating things of our own. We are putting our
Yeah.
data. So you know
Yeah.
what I see happening, ma'am? You might think it's conspiracy. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, you are doing exactly what they did with the East India Company.
Yes.
The East India Company came with their products over here, came
Yeah.
with their idea of business, and took over everything that was
Yeah.
ours
Yeah.
and made it theirs. That is social media. That is why it is important for this government to recognize
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
if you don't start supporting social media platforms, tech platforms that are indigenous to India itself, money is coming
Yeah.
from India, controlled by Indian founders, government can scrutinize them as well. Don't support it, you're putting the lives of your fellow Indian the citizens in danger with their data being accessible to the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's where I think where the problem is. People would
Mm.
say, should you quit Twitter, Facebook? I don't think you should quit anything right now, but I think you
Mm.
should realize what they are. Have
Yeah.
you ever wondered why is it that when you hit onto Twitter or Google or a Facebook, it is only what you are used to searching that you will
Yeah.
be able to see?
Yeah.
So they track your mind even before you're about
Yeah.
to type your search string. Google will throw up a probability of the search string you're looking for
Yes.
based on your data over the last couple of hours.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
artificial intelligence using your mind.
Yeah. Even your
Do
shopping list.
correct? So everything's there. Your data is there. What the
Yeah.
government? Why is it? I'll tell you. As much as we dislike China, and
Yeah.
and and I truly dislike them for
Yeah.
their nature, but you
Correct.
have to give it to them that they
Yeah.
have not allowed the penetration of foreign based products, tech based companies into their country. They've
Yeah.
created alternatives of their own, and they created these alternatives way before they even started looking at the dangers.
Yeah.
Do we have an alternative for Twitter?
Mm.
No, we have Coup now.
Yeah.
Do you know how easy it is if somebody decides to crash Coup? It's not that difficult to crash a website. All you have to do is flood it with traffic,
Yeah.
right? So I'm
Mm.
saying we have to learn from our mistakes in the past.
Yeah.
We have to create indigenous brands.
Yeah.
Okay, Coup is very good. The other ones need to buckle up. Elements is another great platform for WhatsApp related. It's a good competitor for WhatsApp. If it grows in that direction that they want to take it into. Sandesh is another WhatsApp tool that's coming from the government of India as well. So I think the government's waking up because we don't need to put ourselves in a compromising position
Mm.
to allow ourselves to be taken for a ride by foreign tech companies, is what my
Yeah.
argument is.
In fact, Savio, before I joined Coup, I was with Tutor. And I
Correct.
found Tutor very friendly because in a lot of things, many ways it's friendly. Then I liked other things like, for example, the conch is a very Indianized symbol, so that was a good logo that they took for their thing.
Correct.
And yeah, only thing is, it faced a lot of backlash from Indian government, which I think was a bit too much. See, I would always say that, see, the more Indian apps we have, let us allow everything to exist and let the people choose. I mean, I don't have to follow an app that our prime minister is following. I
I
may
agree.
want to follow an app where I feel comfortable. I don't want to constantly hear about what the government is doing. I might want to hear about art or cooking or something else. So I would strongly feel, Savio, but again, we would seek your opinion, is that, see, the more apps we have, the better chances we become more better at whatever we do.
Well, I'll tell you the most important aspect of the market in India that is there.
Yeah, yeah,
Because of the sheer population that we have, of 130 crores.
yeah,
Most importantly, because we are a diverse country with diverse languages, there
yeah,
is a potential for us to create apps that cater to each and every language.
yes,
The
yes,
most important aspect is as technology gets better, we must dominate technology, ma'am.
yeah,
We must dominate technologies to our benefit and not allow foreign entry entities to dominate technology as far as we're concerned. Because let's face it, most of the technology internationally is also done by our people,
yeah,
right? So I
mm,
don't know what's stopping us from creating the technologies here in
exactly,
India,
exactly,
right? So whether it's Tutor, whether it's Koo, whether maybe somebody else comes up with two, three more apps,
yeah,
I think it's up to us as Indians to ensure that they are successful. They
yeah,
need to be made into robust business models.
yeah,
They need
yeah,
to have people who invest into them so that they are allowed to grow because there's a huge market for that. Why should
yeah, yeah,
monopoly be only with Twitter?
yeah,
If China wanted to do something, China never allowed Google to get into China.
yeah,
Baidu continues to be its
yeah,
top search engine out there.
yeah,
Why are we so as a nation? Why do we continue to be so enamored and subjugated to foreign tech companies? I don't understand. I'm not
yeah,
saying they are bad,
yeah,
but I'm saying at the end of the day, the mind space behind them, the skill behind them is Indian. We
yeah,
just need to push them to do that in India. Provide them with the right kind of servers. Keep that data in India. That's really where we need to be.
yeah. See, Savio, also the fact that, see, the kind of attitude that Twitter has, see, it's like, see, you're a brownie slave, and you better take what I tell you to do. See, how many times have we banned for very, simple tweets? And people who have
Right.
been doing very aggressive, hateful, speech or tweets have never been banned. We've been banned so many times. And we've looked for alternatives. We have been talking to the government for the last 2 years. Please bring something out. But again, I don't like government pushing something onto you. Okay, the government should remain away and let the people decide which app they should choose. That is one very important thing, Savio, because I always feel that, see, there are people in the government who are saying, please use Coup. No, there are other alternatives. Let them use whatever they want, you see.
Well, I think, ma'am, either way,
Hmm.
it boils down to a person's preference.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I chose school not because
Yeah,
I it mattered to me who's coming
yeah,
on it.
yeah,
It's just that
yeah,
they are known to me. I said, let me just try it out.
yeah, exactly.
Uh, you know, I
Yeah,
would do the same with Tutor. I'm on Elements as well. I
yes,
like
yeah,
Elements. They are also known to me, so I will try it out.
yeah,
Eventually, what I'm comfortable with, what I like, is where
uh,
I'll be. Right. I have Telegram with me. I have another WhatsApp like mechanism with me, which a friend has been trying to bring into the Indian market. I
yeah,
mean, it's an Indian based in the US, trying to bring that technology into the Indian market. I
yeah,
use that for communication as well because nobody else has it and it's secretive,
yeah,
right?
mm,
So I choose what I'm comfortable with and I will use it. So now
yeah,
people are moving on to Signal.
yeah,
Signal is another very good communication tool,
yeah,
but again, you can have three, four of them, or you can have one.
yeah.
I'm not going to join something just because the government is on it. No,
Just push it.
at least that's not the way I think.
Yeah,
But if there is good interaction, if there's good content, if there's good people that I'm able to share my views with, then I will definitely be over there.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Moving to the next point, Savio, with regards to the Soros case, you've been writing some very hard-hitting articles, four of them or five of them I've seen, exposing the kind of evil that he is indulging in to break India. Many of our viewers may not even be aware that such a man exists. Perhaps you could explain to them and also the kind of negative impact that he's having on our country and who are the people he funds. So, Savio, you've been doing such detailed stories, and they're brilliant articles which we've all been sharing. So, could you tell us? See, not all our viewers know about him. So, Savio, could you just give us a gist about?
Well, okay. I would describe now uh, to make it more impactful.
Yeah,
I've been studying George Soros for the last 3 years
yeah,
in detail.
mm,
Now, I took a fascination to him Because I was studying the currency crisis that happened in the UK in 1992.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then I was studying the Asian currency crisis, and this name kept popping up.
Yeah.
Okay. And I realized that there's something very unique this gentleman does.
Yeah.
For all the financial wizardry that he is, if you mapped him right up till now, this,
Yeah.
January 2021, you
Yeah.
will realize that behind this wonderful so-called financial jugglery gentleman, who's in the business of making money through financial markets,
Yeah.
there is a pattern towards his business growth over a period of time.
Yeah.
So if I were to give you a little background into who he is, he was
Yeah.
basically born into a prosperous Jewish family. He had his upbringing disrupted when the Nazis had come into Hungary in 1944. And then he moved to London, where he studied philosophy under Karl Popper at the London School of Economics.
Yeah.
But his initial stage was that he wanted to become a philosopher. That was his
Yeah.
thought process. But then he joined the London Merchant Bank of Singer and Friedlander, and then he moved to New York City after some time, and that's when he
Yeah.
got into what was called the financial markets, and he started the Soros Fund, which later became to be known as the Quantum Endowment Fund, which was a hedge fund in 1973.
Yeah.
So he's been playing the stock markets
Mm.
since that time. In fact, he was
Yeah.
one of the first persons to actually the stock market crash of October 1987.
Yeah.
Okay, but he went wrong when it came to Japan, when he started to predict that the Japanese stocks would fall. So he's
Yeah.
known to be a sort of a wizardry as far as the stock markets are concerned.
Yeah.
And those are the good sides about it, not the bad
Yeah.
sides about it.
Absolutely.
Then, as he started to play a lot in these stocks, he realized that in order for them to control it, he needed to control media. He needed to control certain factions politically. He needed to
Yeah.
control certain factions that are in the activism space. He
Yeah.
needed to control certain factions that are in the knowledge space and the education space. Because you know what? Because he realized that if I could create instability in an economic environment, I am able to bring down the currency value of a particular nation and thereby
Yeah.
be able to gain over a period of time. So
Yeah.
when if I take you through what happened as far as the UK was concerned, and I'll tell you why it's very important to understand. Let me read out to you what the EDU, the Stanford University case study on him said. Okay,
Yeah.
so they referred to the August 23rd, 1993 cover story of the Business Week entitled "The Man Who Moves Markets,"
Mm.
which paints the picture of an investor whose manipulation of the press is matched only by his ability to manipulate his financial empire.
Yeah.
By far, Soros's greatest gains, however, has been destabilizing currencies on the global market. Time and again, when a nation is in a monetary crisis, Soros is there to give the currency the last nudge and then profit as it plummets. So he brings the currency down and then profits from it. He
Yeah.
bet against the Asian currencies in 1997, the pesos in 1994, but his most brash one was in
Yeah.
1992,
Yeah.
where he invested 1 billion of value of his fund on this black day of
Mm.
September 16th. Do you know how much he made?
Mm.
He made 10 billion after that.
Yeah.
So he hedged 1 billion
Mm.
and he made 10 billion by beating the British pound down.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you go by what this guy does
Yeah.
and look at it, there's something known as DC leaks that we have revealed in our story. And
Yeah.
you would see that DC Leaks has put out documents
Yeah.
of George Soros and how his open society was
Yeah.
actually working with
Mm.
certain groups, to actually destabilize certain countries, and
Yeah.
how they would work with the media, how they would work with the markets, how they would use the agitation groups, the activism groups, especially during Syrian refugee crisis. Let me read to you what they said. A key open society paper packed in its entirety described the the Syrian refugee crisis as an opportunity to shape conversations about rethinking migration governments.
Yeah.
What it really meant was to
Yeah.
use these groups to flood Europe and US with evacuees, make the old borders and institutions irrelevant, and in the process create a world liberated from restraints of constitutionalism, American exceptionalism, free capitalism, and other obsoletisms. So, what is Open Society, the organization that is funded by George Soros, all about? It's extreme polarization and breakdown in civil discourse.
Yeah.
That's really what it is.
Mm.
Which means it believes in a world with no border.
Yeah.
It is an open society where they want to make everything, you know, uh, what you would call rash, brash. What was Black Lives Matter all about? That was completely funded by him.
Yes.
Now, why is it important for India? And why am I so hell bent on exposing him?
Yeah.
He was the guy at Davos
Mm.
who actually criticized Narendra Modi and the Indian
Yes.
government with regards to the abrogation of Article 370.
Yeah.
He actually went out to say that the decision of abrogation of the Article 370 was against the Muslims
Yeah.
because it's a pro Hindu majority government,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Now, why is that scary?
Yeah.
Because he has been funding an organization called CARE. CARE
Yeah.
is Council of American and Islamic Relationships.
Mm. Mm.
He's funded them over $300,000 more in
Yeah.
2017 on certain research papers that they are doing. Why is CARE so important?
Yeah.
CARE, CAR,
Yeah.
CARE is important because they are the ones who have been supporting the Hamas,
Mm.
which is a terrorist group as far
Yeah.
as Palestine and Syria and all are concerned.
Concerned. Yeah.
In fact, the people who led the protest in the US states were two groups. One is Islamic Circle of North America and CARE. They
Yeah.
put out billboards in certain areas in the US, New Jersey, Detroit. They put out billboards against the idea of abrogation of Kashmir,
Yeah.
of Article 370,
Mm.
and that posters that they carried was Stand with Kashmir.
Yeah.
Stand with Kashmir is the same poster logo that Farhan Akhtar carried on the wrong map of India that he tweeted about.
Yeah.
This is all George Soros.
Yeah.
And George Soros, Open Society Foundation,
Mm.
is also linked to Sikh Coalition.
Yeah.
Sikh Coalition is then linked to Sikhs for Justice because of their camaraderie together. And the guy who's a co-founder of Sikh Coalition is now one of the senior officers on Open City Foundation,
Yeah.
Open Society Foundation, which
Yeah.
is George Soros again.
Mm.
These are the individuals who, for the last 2 months,
Mm.
have been going to US senators and giving a resolution. May I please read out to you what that resolution says so that you know how dangerous these guys are?
Yeah. Yeah.
The
Absolutely.
resolutions that they have sent to Joe Biden and to
Yeah.
the rest of the senators, it states, whereas the Indian government and its intelligence services are suppressing and intimidating supporters and aid organizations through issuing indiscriminate and vague legal notices, auditing financials, and even arresting individuals on wrong charges. Whereas, despite the fact that tech platforms like Twitter and Facebook have responsibility to protect vulnerable journalists, human rights defenders, and the millions who use their platform, and an obligation to allow communities to share their stories and histories, Indian government has engaged in a pattern of threatening and cajoling them to blatantly restrict free speech online.
Yeah.
Third point, whereas the farmers have the right to demonstrate peacefully, they condemn any government brutality and failures to protect demonstrators from violence. Whereas India, as a signatory to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and state party to the International Covenant of Civil and Political Rights and International Covenant of Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights, obligating to the country to respect the rights to peaceful protest and food. Whereas the Indian government must denounce and should not tolerate threats made against farmers by politicians, nationalist leaders, the general public inciting violence, even if ominous warnings of a repetition of the 1984 anti-Sikh pogrom led by the Indian government. As such, threats can have and lead to deadly violence against protesters during the course of a peaceful protest. Can you see the amount of
Mm,
nonsense that
mm.
they've been putting in
Yeah,
their?
yeah, yeah.
Which part of this is true? Here another one says peaceful protesters have been met with tear gas, water cannons,
Yeah,
barricade, baton attacks, and other
yeah,
forms of violence by the Indian police and
yeah,
government forces on multiple distinct occasions, including late November 2020 and late January 2021,
yeah.
where at least one protester died and several hundred were injured. This is Open Society's supported NGO.
See, and the
Seek
sad part, Savio, sad part is that many of our people are joining hands with them.
of course.
Journalists, activists,
Today we broke a story.
celebrities. Yeah,
Today we broke a story when I have put out where George Soros, through his own information, you see, all this information is available because you just have to look for it.
yeah,
The data we have of his funding, the data which we have that he's worked with these organizations are
yeah,
legitimate. I would challenge any one of George Soros's Open Society Foundation to prove me
yeah,
wrong.
yeah,
They won't because his data is genuine data, right? So today we put out a story where George Soros, through his various funds like the Soros Economic Development Fund, they have a tie-up with something known as Aspera Investments, you know,
yeah,
Aspera Investments, sorry, that's now Light Rock. They've
yeah,
invested in almost 48 companies in India, startups
yeah,
and MSME companies.
yeah,
He's talking about a 90 million US dollar investment in India and startups. He's already done that.
yeah, which is so
January
dangerous.
19, January 19, 2020, they invested 8.3 million in a company called Dunzo. December 15,
Oh,
2020, they
oh,
invested in a company called Arya Collateral Warehousing. The amount is 21 million. December 8, 2020, Aspada invested in QMAT,
mm,
Series C funding, 40 million.
mm,
Then they invested in something known as Act Named,
mm,
which is a Series A funding, 7 million.
mm.
Viriti Capital, 50 million. Another one in Arya Collateral Warehousing, 6 million. I can go on, there are 48
Yeah,
names.
yeah. Very, very, very scary.
So they are investing.
Mm,
I'm not saying that you're wrong in investments, but my
mm.
question is eventually this guy is an economic terrorist.
Yeah,
We can't have him investing in
yeah,
startup companies to whichever route he wants to take.
yeah,
He's invested in a hospital brand in Tamil Nadu. The hospital brand I think is called Go Well Hospitals, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just tell you the name. I have it
yeah,
somewhere
yeah,
here.
yeah.
I think it's Go Well Hospital. They've invested. They
Mm.
are a chain of 10 hospitals in Tamil Nadu, and
Okay.
yeah, no, sorry, Be Well Hospitals,
Yeah,
and then in Tamil Nadu and Kaveri Hospital in Karnataka.
yeah,
Other hospital chains that they've invested into. So,
yeah,
what are you seeing, ma'am? You're seeing somebody who's an economic terrorist, somebody who's funding activism, somebody who funded the Black Lives Matter, somebody who's criticized Narendra Modi and the Indian government
yeah,
at Davos, somebody who put in 1 billion US dollars
yeah,
to to actually work against this concept of nationalism.
yeah.
That's what he said at Davos, right? So you're dealing with a very dangerous man. The
Yeah,
toolkit that we are all talking about is just a start to the madness of this madman.
yeah,
Now, I've been told by certain people that Savio, this guy is not like any of the other guys you have broken down before and you went after. He's extremely dangerous.
yeah,
And I'm saying this again to all the people concerned.
yeah,
He might be bigger than Dawood Abraham, and I don't give a damn.
yeah.
My point is very simple. George Soros, if you make India bleed, India will make you bleed. I didn't start this war with you. You started this war when you got into the Kashmir issue.
Yes.
And I've been tracking you ever since you showed up in Kashmir
Yeah.
with your Open Society Foundation's antiques. And I'm going to track him down and I will expose all the companies linked to it.
Yeah.
And I would want the government to act. Now, the question is, will the Indian government act against him? And I believe the Indian government has just warmed up to the idea to what he's doing. We just have to keep putting more information out. I'm not saying that the people who have taken money are aware of the truth behind him. So I'm not going to hold our Indians responsible for him.
Yeah.
But there are certainly some in the media. There are certainly some in the NGOs that take that money to destabilize India.
Savio, you had an interview with this string who exposed a lot of things. So,
Yes.
could you speak a little bit about that?
Well, I think the most important aspect of what Vinod and team did as far as the string interview on the Greta Thunberg toolkit was all about.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. They told it in as simple and as easy uh, a format which was acceptable to a lot of people. And they're a bunch of a very young set of boys who want to do something good and want to tell their story and their research and their truth in a skill that they are good at, which is to the video format, to that wonderful way in which they bring it forward. I think they're very gutsy. I think they're extremely sure of what they are doing. It was not wrong for them to be afraid, you know. But like I told them in that interview that we did with them also, fear is not a factor as when you deal with cowards.
Yeah.
To me, George Soros and people like him, you see, I don't have a problem with George Soros simply because I know that is intrinsically the quality of George Soros.
Yeah.
George Soros is a man who believes in no country. He has no country.
Yeah.
So he makes the world his playground.
Yeah.
But I have a problem with those who support people like him. So what I'm interested in, and that which is why I've openly asked him, I've even written to his media cell that I want to interview you.
Yeah.
You might be whoever you are, but I need to ask you a few questions as a journalist of this country, right?
Yeah.
I want to know who are the people who have been backed, he has backed in the media, people he has backed in the political circle, and people who he has backed in the activist circle, because they are the real worms and termites in India that needs to be exterminated. When I mean exterminated, I don't mean it in a literal sense. I mean it in a figurative sense, like you would take a hit and put on a cockroach. It's as simple as that. So to me, they are cockroaches.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Savio. I think we've just reached 8, and it was a brilliant talk by you, Savio. And I hope see a lot more will be exposed, and he'll be brought to book. And by the way, Savio, how old is this man?
90.
I hope he doesn't conk. If he conks off, I mean, he'll still have a lot of children left behind who will follow on his footsteps.
Well, there's every criminal mind has a certain amount of intelligence that I tend to appreciate in people.
Yeah.
The problem with this intelligent mind is that he has chosen the wrong country to mess with.
Yes.
At the wrong time with the wrong government and the wrong set of nationalists.
Yes.
That's the only difference.
Yes.
If he went somewhere else, he would have been pretty successful. He's pretty successful. Go to Pakistan and he'll more or less control that country. That's not a problem. He's come to India.
Yeah.
Unless he straightens out in India, we cannot allow him to succeed in India. It's as simple as
that. Thank you so much, Savio. And we'll call you for yet another session of interesting talk from you. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Good night. Bye.